Sorry for the break in transmission. I was talking about the roles of viable 21st century academic research. And I was saying that research should be to solve complex problems, and we shouldn't just do research for, meeting the requirements or fulfilling the requirements of getting a degree. And also, we should think of it as of a challenge, of a problem you have identified, and developing evidence-based, systematically derived solutions to those problems. Now, again, research should advance knowledge. What do we know about a particular field, or about a topic, about a subtopic in a field? We already know. More can we know? What are the unanswered questions, in that field? So, what should um, what are the existing theories? What are the models that are existing? How do they apply to contemporary situation? Do they remain unchanged? Models that were developed in the 20th century apply in the same way to the 21st century, where we have issues like climate change, population explosion, and other contemporary issues that we are faced with. And so these are things that current research, 21st century research must do, advance our knowledge, in specific fields, in specific subfields and topics within those fields. Again, our research should seek to inform policy and decision making. I made a presentation about one of my previously published article on why secondary school students perform poorly in external examination with geography as a concern. I tried to make a presentation of this study to my current research group here in Germany, and somebody asked me a question. So, what have you done with this research? How has this research shaped teaching and education, geography education in Nigeria so far? I was dumbfounded because I wasn't thinking of how this research could benefit the policymakers and those who are practitioners in the field of geography education. Because probably I should have done more than I did, circulating the finding, the result, the paper to those within my field. I should have gone ahead to make it louder, to further to precise, disseminate my findings in a more broader form. So these are things we should begin to do, to begin to think about as we do research. How does my research, or we begin from the start point of the first point of research, what's this problem? How is this problem captured in policy? And what about to do? And the result I've obtained when the research is finished. Does it apply to the policies that are in existence? Are there modifications that should be made to policies, or practitioners in this field doing that can be done differently to improve the process, to improve the field? So these are options or things we must think about as researchers when we conduct research. And of course, research should drive innovation, to lead to development of new products, to lead to the development of new ways of doing things, and new steps, new procedures, and improving lives, improving all sectors of the economy. And that is what we should pursue in our research, with our research, and by our research. And in terms of business, research should enhance competitiveness, where businesses conduct research to see how better they can address emerging trends in the business industry, how they can study consumer behavior to see the pattern of consumer behavior, and see how well to meet the needs of their consumers and their customers. So this is research we'll be doing. And also, of course, research is already doing this in advanced countries, but this is what our research in Africa to be doing. Needless to say that our research should improve our technology locally, derived technology, local health issues, and local sustainability issues. Our research must address these things because these things are contemporary issues in research. Now, 21st century research requires some skills. And just does it require these skills, but it helps also to develop these skills. The first I will talk about is critical thinking. Research requires critical thinking skills, which makes you analyze an issue, evaluate an issue, and even synthesize information from a variety of sources and, pre-identify gaps. So research must be, to fill the pre-identified gap. Critical thinking is required. Analyze the issues, the documents, the sources, the literature already available, and then seeing what is left undone. You can address what is left undone from previous studies. So these questions are things that we must answer. Do we have critical thinking skills? It is required for research. It is required for globally competitive research. As you conduct research, research helps you to develop these skills because you're going to encounter, critiques, healthy critiques, healthy constructive criticisms along as you present your research, to the public, as you write manuscript drafts, you're going to have a lot of peer review comments. It will guide you to critical thinking to improve your thought process, to improve even the form, the speech of what you eventually provide through your research. And the next is problem solving. Research usually begins with identification of problem. And so the aim of research should be to solve the problem identified. And this is why you cannot just go to the library and get an old research and try to copy the topic and want to do the same thing the person has done or something like that. No, there should be. And problems change with time. Problems are dynamic. So the current problem that you're facing in your locality that is related to your field of study that you think your previous experience, your previous courses would positions you to solve a bit of that problem. So, research puts you through that process where problem has been identified. You go all the way to identify ways, innovative ways, creative solutions to those problems. This is what research requires from you. As you go about research, it develops also that problem solving skills in you. That is why a researcher is a critical thinker. A researcher should be a problem solver because you think about the problem, you see the problem, you identify the problem, and you go ahead to find systematic processes, collect data, analyze them, and then look at what is previously available to solve the current problem. Research also requires communication skills. Effective communication is very necessary for research. Researchers should be able to communicate their intentions. That is why sometimes some departments or programs will organize what they call research proposal, and you're coming to communicate your intentions. And even in informal settings, you communicate your intentions with your academic supervisor or with your panel in the department to share your research ideas. These are communication skills. Oral communication skills, written communication skills are very much required, to conduct research in the 21st century. And as you conduct research, as continue the process of researching, you build your communication skills. You hone it, you fine tune them, in that process. Research also requires teamwork and collaboration. There are the days when somebody will sit down, identify a problem alone, and try to, go ahead to solve it and all alone. Yeah, research now requires collaboration. It can be collaboration among experts in your field within a small department or within a small lab. One person looks at that aspect of his strength. Maybe somebody is, stronger in analytical techniques. Another person has, the experimental techniques, expertise in that. Another person is a champion in conducting surveys and focus group discussions or interviews. Research requires this combination of different skills from different people in a team to be able to come up with a very strong and a very acceptable finding in the academic world. So collaboration, teamwork is required. Also, this research process helps you to develop collaboration and teamwork skills. If you're a person that likes to be on your own, to stay alone, and to do your things alone, this research should bring you to talk to the next person. I say, okay, I'm thinking of this thing. What do you think about this topic? This is a problem, and this and this and this is the way I've identified this problem. And I think that we can solve this problem by collecting data related to this topic, collecting data related to this trait, and then analyzing and seeing the pattern and reporting the same. Research helps you to build it. And beyond this, research also helps you to build your analytic skills. Aside analysis of literature, aside analyzing different sources of information, research also helps you to analyze the raw data that you collect. There's a lot of data analysis is a buzzing um, field and profession now that people get a lot of remote jobs, remote tasks, conducting data analysis. Sometimes I also do some data analysis for younger researchers and others. And this is a great thing to do. But as a researcher, it is good to acquire analytical skills, data analysis skills, in a way that you can confidently say, I analyze my data, and this and this and these are the techniques I applied, and these are the reasons why I applied these techniques. Of course, we can outsource this to those who have the strength in data analysis. But then, if you can, if you have the time, if you are able to, you should learn how to analyze data. And as you do it gradually, you can start with this PSS and you can progress to, there are others, if you're not programming, there's SPSS, there is Minitab. You can use this to analyze your data. Even Microsoft Excel is a great analytical tool. And then there are other programming tools like Python, R for statistical programming, MATLAB, and the rest are very strong analytical tools that researchers should learn to use. Of course, not all of them. If you want to learn all of them, great. It requires a lot of time, sacrifice, and devotion. But you can learn just from Excel. There's a lot to learn about soft Excel for data analysis. Research also teaches us to manage project management. It involves really multiple multiple tasks of management of time, prioritizing tasks, and working under pressure to meet deadlines. These are skills that are required for research, and research also helps you develop these skills. And I hope you look at these and take the next steps to develop these skills, to do your research, and continue to grow in them. And you'll become better for it. Now, there are strategies that are important for 21st century research. And I've touched a little bit on collaboration and some issues, but start with talking about contemporary topics and interdisciplinarity. Now, research should identify research. I mean, you should identify research topics that are very important, that are timely and relevant to your field. So, are you thinking of writing a proposal for advanced degree research, as graduate studies research, or apply for scholarships, or are you currently enrolled in your studies as an undergraduate in the final year, as a master student who is preparing to write a thesis, a project or a thesis or whatever it is called, dissertation, and then or the PhD student who is, you know, working towards PhD research, PhD thesis, we should go for contemporary topics, hot topics, topics that are very relevant, to the current dispensation. And you know that the current topic globally is the Sustainable Development Goals, the UN, Agenda 2030, and any idea you have that links to one or two goals of Agenda 2030, it's going to serve, it's going to be attractive, it's going to want to be funded because that's what the world is talking about at the moment. And these topics also helps you to engage with contemporary issues that are bedeviling the world or even your locality at a particular time. And when you do this, you must think into interdisciplinarity. It is great that people who can move from different disciplines or try to combine ideas from different disciplines. I recently had an idea of um, political linguistics or something, computational linguistics. And it was really interesting to me that those who have studied linguistics, which is a core subject, can get involved in programming, in analytical studies, things to linguistics, interdisciplinarity. And so in fact, these are things that and we cannot stress or overflow the issue of collaboration. If you do not collaborate, if you do not ask questions, you will not know what is going on in the field or possibilities exist out there. So as you're thinking locally about the problems that are local, global impact, think of what us have done globally on the same topic, how you can adapt that, study that topic to the benefit of your local community. So it's just a great way, to think about contemporary topic and interdisciplinarity in research. So network, go out, attend conferences, go for workshops, go for other events that could symposiums, trainings that bring together researchers and experts in your field, join professional organizations, whether as a student member or full member. In some professional organizations give like discounted prices. I mean, international ones give discounted prices for students or lecturers or academics in from sub-Saharan Africa or from least or less developed countries. So this is number one. For me, this is the biggest strategy you should employ in your research contemporary topics. And again, beyond this, strive to use digital tools at every process of research. You can use digital tools to identify problems, do a systematic literature review by searching some databases of academic literature in your field to see what is the standpoint of literature. Where are we in my field? Where are we on this topic? Digitalization can be applied to this. You can apply digitalization. Of course, the world has moved forward from manual computation of statistical analysis of data collected. It is very clear already. And visualization and communication. We must need to use all such tools, digital tools that are available for each stage of the research process. It is very, very important. And do you also know that you need to adhere strictly to every critical considerations in your field? Research involving human beings, research involving animals, research involving plants have their specific ethical and requirements, which you be strictly adhered to as you plan your research, as you propose your research. So you get to know them and get to stick to them. Again, I would say publish your research. There's one way for you to not only get visible, but also to share your knowledge, to share what you have found, to contribute to science, publish your research. And you do this, you're telling the world that you have done something little here, and this is a finding that you have. And when you make a publication, ensure that it is open access so that everyone can read it and see it and assess it and utilize your findings, build on your findings, or adopt or apply your findings for policy or further scientific research. And to do good research, funding is required. So seek funding opportunities. So there are places where grants are available, grants for your field. You have to seek them out, identify them, know them, and then apply. When you're finished applying, apply. And sometimes they even give you feedback on your application and tell you this and this and this are things that should have been improved on this application. And seek funding opportunities, apply them. There are opportunities for research stay, brief research stay in some countries, in some institutes. Get to know them and and utilize those opportunities to be contemporary in your thinking, in your topic, and in your research. Now, I'm gradually winding down. I want to talk to students at this point, and I will say maximize your studentship. It's one great strategy that you as a researcher should adopt. And beyond maximizing your studentship, maximize your status. If you are in Africa or other developing countries, maximize your status. There are offers that are available for people, for students from developing countries alone. Opportunities for research stay, for with doctoral studies, research, for all manner of trainings and workshops and conferences, for those from the global south, from the developing country, maximize those opportunities. Now, for students, maximize opportunities provided by the university, the resources provided by the university for your research. So yeah, library research, both physical book collections or digital library collections, but you can only access as a student. You utilize those opportunities, whether it is archives or scientific equipment or laboratories, and you have access to as a student. You will not have access to them again, when you graduate, except probably you maintain a strong link with your lecturer or supervisor and all of that. And that could be a different level of the relationship. But as a student, you have access, and you can use those at minimum cost and to achieve great results. So utilize all the resources that are available to you. And beyond physical resources like library and the laboratory or other things that are there are opportunities for mentorship, you know, get closer to your lecturers or to researchers in your department who you already know the same or similar interests to you, and get close to them, learn all you can from them, submit yourself to them to see how to acquire the guidance and the motivation and the enlightenment that you need to succeed in your field. And also training programs afford you the opportunity to learn such methods about professional development, techniques, grant writing. Seminars are available, in your universities at different times, which you can benefit from. So get ahead, learn from them, and utilize them to gain all you can as a student, and use the networking opportunities provided by the university. The university provides an opportunity to connect with all manner of lecturers and students in your university. Use it properly. If you talk about an interdisciplinary topic, consult with other departmental experts and people in those departments to see how you can come together, work together to achieve the goal that you want for your research. So use those networking opportunities. If there are international partnerships that are there at your university, go ahead and utilize them. And again, the funding opportunities available for students of African countries, developing countries, pick them and use them to advance yourself, to make some progress in acquiring the skills you need and developing those skills you need to conduct 21st century research. Now, I talked about digitalization. Just a few of the digital tools you need to embrace and master as a research student, as a graduate student, or as a student who is about to conduct research or who is conducting research. Learn how to generate your references digitally. Use reference management software. There are Mendeley, Zotero, EndNote. There are many more that you can use. Import all your articles or books and other literature sources, organize them, and then easily cite from that software and generate your reference list or bibliography list end of your research, which increases the accuracy of your citation and reference lists, and also ensures uniformity of the format. And you can easily switch from different formats, for example, APA to MLA or to Harvard or to Chicago, or whatever kind of referencing style that you want, just with a click of a button, and it applies it to everything, both the in-citation, the reference list. So to learn about this reference management software, also statistical analysis. I've said this before. Learn how to analyze your data using statistical analytical software, Microsoft Excel, SPSS, R, Stata, Minitab, Python, MATLAB, and the rest. Learn this statistical analytical tools and modeling tools and programming tools that helps you understand your data. They also learn collaboration tools and learn how to use them, like Google Drive, where you can upload, documents on the drive on the cloud, and it helps you collaborate better, share, the same document to different people, and we can all make their contributions at once on the same document at different times at their conveniences. Make suggestions to that. These Google Drive, Dropbox are examples of this. You also learn to save some of your critical documents on Google Drive, because this helps you, to avoid at any time. For example, Many people have their PCs, just something happens to the computer at a particular point in time, and they cannot find their thesis anymore, or the file is corrupted, and it's so devastating, to begin to retype again if you only have the hard copy of that. So, save to the cloud and learn to use those tools also for collaboration with other people. Then be on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn are social networking sites that you should be a member of. From here, you can easily find researchers, experts in your field to follow, who sometimes make announcements of vacancy opportunities, of training opportunities, workshop opportunities, and sometimes even mentorship opportunities. So go ahead, delve in, and you can search for this professionals systematically on these platforms, Twitter and LinkedIn especially, and follow them, and begin to learn from them, from their posts, and seize the opportunities that they will advertise or provide. Now, I thank you for following me so far. I'm going to sum up to say, buckle up for contemporary research practices. Let's not remain in um, um, the low level of thinking, and there are new things to do. There are great things to do. There are problems there that you can solve. And as you meet them, you think global, how that can be a global solution to a particular problem, but you act locally because you can't solve a global problem alone. So you act locally to solve particular problem, but you think of it as a way that can solve the same problem anywhere else across the globe. So that is what I mean by think global, think local, and ensure you upskill to be up to date, to be up to date on the skills that you need to have. I talked about all those skills. Upskill and be up to date. And don't work alone. Collaborate with others to learn. So I'm available for you to follow me on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on my YouTube channel. And I hope that this presentation has been of great help to you. I'm looking forward in the comments to see what you think about them. Thank you, and thank you. So